Good morning, boys and girls. It's time for the children, both young and old. And I bet with you looking around, it looks really weird. Why is she recording in her sewing room? Well, I want to talk about practicing and learning today. This week we're celebrating Ascension Sunday. And Ascension Sunday, maybe you learned this in your Sunday school lessons, right? That this is the time when the church recognizes when Jesus left his disciples here in the earthly plane and ascended into heaven. He went up in a cloud. Some people think he went into the light, disappeared into the light, but he talked with his disciples beforehand and said, I've taught you everything that I can teach you. My followers are with you. They are my sheep. I want you to feed my sheep, take care of my sheep. I want you to go out into the world and spread our message across the world. Now, one of the last things that Jesus said is, stick around Jerusalem for a while. Stick around, because he knew that his disciples were going to be overwhelmed by his leaving. And he promised that he would send the Holy Spirit to be an inspiration in their hearts in times of need, to remind them of the things that they learned from him, and to remind him and put on their hearts what they must do to take his message out into the world. And that brings me back to practicing and learning. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever learned something either from a teacher, from your mom and dad, from your grandparents, from friends, somebody that knew a lot about something that you really wanted to learn, but they didn't really trust you to kind of like just pick it up and learn it right away and then go ahead and utilize it? Maybe it was learning to ride your bicycle. Maybe it was learning to use power tools for the first time, that electric saw. Maybe it was going somewhere on your own after going the same way all the time, and you want to go by yourself and not with your parents or friends, but they want to make sure that you're going to be safe. So you go with them for a good long time until a day comes when they say, okay, you're on your own. Well, this is kind of sort of like what this is all about. My mother taught me to use a sewing machine, and it took me a long time before I could make something like this. I started making things like skirts, easy skirts, big long seams, right? Easy to remember. But after a while, my mom said, you've learned really well. I trust you with my sewing machine. Now you can go ahead and do what you want to do with it. Be creative. Be constructive, and do the right thing. Treat my machine right. This is kind of sort of like Jesus saying to the disciples, I've told you the parables. I've shown you the miracles. I've given you the power to do some of the things that I have been able to do through God. And now I am handing it to you. I'm trusting you to use these lessons as they should be, and spread my message around the world. That's why we celebrate Ascension Day. And that's why we continue to keep Jesus on our hearts. And when we're confused, we know we can go to the Bible and we can pray to God and we can ask the Holy Spirit that Jesus sent to be with us and to guide us. Just like my mom set me loose, I knew I could always go back to my mom and she would give me advice, things that she knew far more than I knew. That's the way it is with Jesus, boys and girls. So that's the way I'm going to leave you this week. Happy Ascension celebration. Jesus is in heaven with his Father, and we are waiting for him to return. I'll see you next time. Peace be with you.